Welcome to the KSN Podcast. With me is Chris Simmons and Sarah Kelleher. This week we're talking about football and basketball. And we'll start with football as the Knights are now 8-0 and they're just coming off a big win against SMU at SMU. What did you think of the game?
I think that it was a really, really close game.
That's awesome. What about you? What did you think of the game?
I thought it was good. I thought that the defense struggled a little bit. I think we saw some weak areas, and I know watching it, I got a little nervous for them. I was it got really close, but then they were able to hold on.
See, I don't think the defense was that bad. I mean, they had incredibly poor tackling, but they only gave them 17 points. Some of those points was pick six, and then the one came on one play, which was just poor tackling, and then there was one other touchdown the whole game in the field goal.
See, the biggest thing for me in that game was that really felt like a little bit of a 2016 Milton flashback.
Yeah.
There were some plays, especially in the first half, where it was just kind of what are you doing?
Like that
was
pick
a lot
six.
of the end of last season, you know?
Like the pick six, it wasn't really a bad decision. It was just he just threw behind someone by about 4 or 5 yards, and it was just not a good play. And then what was the other pick he had? He just threw it up to nobody when he got pressured, and it was
Which is weird because I think that one of the most impressive things about Milton this year has been that he's done well in pressure situations.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's why it reminded me so much of 2016 because it was that throwback to
because he's panicking, just kind of just
Do
tossed
you
it.
think it's because he's getting nervous? They're 8-0 now.
I don't think so. I think it might be the opposite.
One thing Frost talked about at the end of the game was Frost said his play calling was off just because he wasn't totally mentally there with baby Frost on the way. Congratulations,
Okay, congrats,
Frost family, Orlando's hometown kid. We're really happy about it.
Well, I think it might be the opposite of that. Just in that maybe he's getting more confidence. So he thinks that he can just throw stuff up and people go get it because he's been playing so well all season. Maybe he's got some sort of unnecessary comfortability with just throwing the ball because
that's a much bigger issue if that's why.
Well, I'm just saying because you look at against Navy, he had a few times he just threw balls in it and he very easily could have picked and it got dropped. Mm-hmm. And maybe he just feels like maybe he can't throw a pick. He's just gonna take more risks.
He had going to that game 2 picks?
3. I think it was 3.
And
I think it was 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
And then he had 2 in that game.
Yeah.
So that's very unusual.
Wasn't that it was a horrible game? He had 400 yards passing.
But that's the thing is no one's look. Here's the thing: when you're talking about a team that's 8-0,
exactly, yeah,
it's easily the best team UCF's ever fielded. It's you do have to kind of nitpick when you're talking about things.
It was a down game, but his down game was 412 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, one being a pick six, and that's
a down game.
Exactly, and but also it's also a tough game because SMU's a good team. UCF doesn't play particularly well on the road either. I mean, they struggle with some of the road games.
You had told me before the game because I was just typical as we have all season, SMU, another blowout, and you're I don't know about this. You're right. So I guess your side of it was kind of right. SMU was a bit tougher than we thought.
Yeah, like you said, they haven't played very well, they played well, but it seems like at home they play a lot better.
They play closer games on the road.
They're a lot sharper. They execute more, and I just thought that would be a problem with the baby on the way, a lot of distractions. But I think it goes to show that they're a good team, being able, even though it wasn't their best game, there were still mistakes, they still pulled out a win.
It's still an impressive win.
Because that's a really weird situation to deal with too as a team. It's all right, guys, get ready for the win, but your coach might have to go
in the middle of the game.
Yeah, in the middle of the game, and that's obviously what he's thinking. He's going to be checking his phone instead of being 100% locked.
Well, let's think every second that you're on the field, at any second, someone could have run out and been you need to go.
Yeah,
you're about to have a.
I know, because quite honestly, it's his job and all, but how much do you care about football? How much do you care about football at that point when you have a kid on your first kid? Who really cares about football?
I just don't think this weekend against UConn, I don't think we're going to see those little mistakes and little things that we haven't really seen all season that we saw last week. So.
Also, it's UConn, so that helps too.
Yeah, the starting quarterback is out.
Yeah, they've got Pendle coming into the game, so that's their backup. So he'll be starting. Has he started all this year?
I don't think so because Sheriff's he's in the top of a lot of categories.
I think he's played though.
Sheriff's in the top of a few categories.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a disadvantage for UCF? Different quarterback, they haven't seen the way that he plays, or what?
I don't think seeing the backup quarterback to UConn's a disadvantage for anybody.
It's
not. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just
no. But you're right. It's a team that's already not good.
You see, because their starting quarterback's pretty decent. He's played well.
Although then again, you look at, last season, I don't think anyone would have said it was an advantage for UCF for Holman to go down, but then that ended up opening the door for Holman, who sort of came in as the starter. So,
but Holman wasn't playing at the level that the starter for UConn is.
That is true.
Because the starter from UConn's been the starter for 3 years now. He's.
Holman had been for 2. But all I'm saying is just you never, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I feel like it's just kind of something they have to deal with. Yeah, there's less tape on him, but at the same time, at least his own coaching staff thinks he's less talented than the guy who has been playing. So
I don't think it's disadvantage at all, but I mean, it might be.
I mean, we're at the point now where UCF's just going to make the conference championship, right? I mean, SMU, I feel like, was their last big test.
I'm still worried about. Honestly, I'm just worried about the Temple game.
Why the Temple?
Just because.
What?
Just because it's a road game.
What does that have to do with anything?
UCF has played very close games on the road this season.
Have they won them all? Oh, yeah, they have. So
What Navy was 10.
38-10, Maryland.
SMU was 7.
And
then
about, it's okay, but you also
I'm just saying it's on the road.
It's Temple.
Temple's come out winning against Navy.
Yeah, but we beat Navy too.
They beat Navy worse than we did. Than UCF did.
That is true. So
It
it's a transitive win. Temple's better than UCF.
Yeah, I guess. So
No, that's the point. Is that I know they played the same team, so you can look at it and say,
but it's on the road. But
Temple's been unimpressive all year.
But it's on the road. They're coming out. Temple just beat Navy, who's a decent team, and UCF might be looking past them. USF, because that's obviously the biggest game of their season, is USF.
But you're actually more worried about Temple than USF.
Yeah, I'm worried about USF just because it's a rivalry game too. That always brings.
But USF's going to be up for that game though. UCF's going to be ready for that game, I think. Just because
these are such intangible things. It's like road games. They're going to be ready. It's like UCF's just a better all-around team than Temple and USF by a lot.
I'm not arguing they're not. I'm just saying that I'd be more worried about the Temple game than the USF game.
Yeah, I think SMU is their toughest game at this point.
I think no. I'm not saying
I honestly feel like it's pretty close to smooth.
Because I think the teams that give UCF the most trouble are the teams that can score prolifically. I don't think teams with staunch defense are really going to bother them.
And USF's had a good offense, but it's also been an up and down offense.
But I mean, Quentin Flowers had a big game last week. I mean, he might be hitting a stride. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many yards did he have last week? Like 300-400 yards, a lot combined. I mean,
yeah. But I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, he's probably the most dangerous player.
No, I don't think anyone's arguing USF is not a good team. They are a good team.
They're a good team.
We talked about all season that they were overrated, and that showed in the Houston game. And showed in the Tulane game. It's like they're just they're
good, but they're not as good as everyone thought they were. They're not 14th in the coaches poll good.
They dropped off from last year. They were honestly a better team last year.
Well, they lost. I mean, they lost a 4th round pick.
Except when you look at it like that, it's easy to say that now. But then why going into the season did everyone assume they were going to be so much better than they were last year?
I can't speak for everybody else.
I think it's the same thing like we see with UCF is undefeated, but they're so low in the college football rankings.
That's a whole other thing.
Well, I'm just saying, I think it's the same thing. People just think from the years before and from seasons in the past, this team's going to play a certain way. And they don't. So. Yeah,
because I mean, in the American, how many of these people voting watch the American?
Maybe none.
So if you see USF comes off last year, whatever they were last year, they 12-1, 11-2, something like that last year. Quentin Flowers, dark horse, Heisman contender or whatever. If you see that from last year, what's going to be? If you don't watch the American, what's going to make you think, this team's going to be bad the next year? Not bad, but not as good the next year. It's like I don't think people don't know about the American.
Should we talk about the rankings?
Let's go for it. They're not good. I don't like how
the playoff ranking.
The playoff ranking.
The playoff ranking.
Because I mean, UCF should not be top 10, top whatever. But they should be higher than 18.
How should they not be top 10? They're one of 5 undefeated teams in the nation. Every undefeated team is top 8.
Because
you
look at their schedule, it is hard to get. But they still don't play great teams, and I don't know about top 10, but they should be higher than 18. I mean,
for sure.
Teams like USC, a Mississippi State team would beat a UMass team by 11. They let Iowa State jump them, and then Iowa State proceeds to get but they lost to West Virginia. I mean, there's just teams in front of that shouldn't be there.
Well, and the whole thing, I mean, and it's just playing off that. I mean, there's what, 8 teams, checking with our stat guy, there's 8 teams that have lost 2 games that are ranked ahead of UCF.
And not all those teams are better than
us.
At that point, it's crazy.
Also, they came in at 18 the first week, and we were like, okay, that's kind of low, and but you're, like we said before, people don't watch the American. Mm-hmm. Then they come and they play SMU, who's not a terrible
They're a tough team.
On the road, pull out a win, and you'd think they were at least going to move up.
They don't move at all.
Spots. And they don't move at all.
And
that was the thing that was shocking to me.
I felt like I was being really pessimistic because I said they were going to go to 17th.
I mean, teams in front of them lost. They had teams in front of them lose.
Multiple teams.
Michigan State jumps 11 spots. I mean,
at this point, it's like I'm going to go on a little bit of a, out of conference rant. Okay, at this point, Iowa State is not a ranked team. Okay? You cannot move them up 14 spots, then drop them back 12 spots or whatever. At that point, you just got it wrong. They're not a ranked team. Stop ranking Iowa State. Okay, that was it.
Well, they did beat 2 top 5 teams.
I don't care. You cannot. There should be no situation where a team goes from not ranked to like 14th, then back down to like 25th.
But maybe they should be in like 20 and 22. They shouldn't.
No, at that point, you just don't know what you're doing as someone who's ranking the team. It's like, you can't get, and they basically, so they said, oh, we got it wrong. Oh, whoops, we got it wrong again.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it wrong the third time. At that point, just take them out of the ranking.
I mean, for the future of UCF and, pushing ahead to next year, rankings next year, what is the only option for them to get, more respect and credit in the rankings is to get a New Year's Six Bowl and win against a Power 5 conference team?
I think that does it.
Yeah, I do too. But
No, I don't even think that does it.
Unless
it's like Ohio State. And
I was saying, if they play a prestigious team in a New Year's Six Bowl and they win, or even lose a close game, and they return, because they're returning how many people next year?
if they make it a game, yeah.
If they make it a game,
The worst case scenario is they end up with a matchup like Mississippi State or something.
that's bad.
Yeah, because at that point, then the mindset flips to, oh, Mississippi State was just overrated. Nothing about UCF at that point.
And
Yeah.
and everyone drops the SEC bias because they want to trash UCF, and it's just like, if they make a New Year's Six game a close game and they return most of their people from this year's team, how are they not going to be? I'm not saying playoff contention, but how are they not going to be a little more respected next season?
Well,
Especially if Frost stays.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I think if Frost leaves,
it's all gone.
You're done. Yeah,
But if he stays, you return a lot of your people. They're returning at least quarterback, all the receivers. They're losing Akins.
They're losing Akins. They're losing Shaquem on defense.
Burkett on defense.
Burkett.
Yeah.
Is that it for the big players?
If Mike Hughes stays, he's a junior.
Hughes will stay. Yeah.
And they're
I
safe.
think it's in his best interest.
No,
I don't know why. That would be a really weird decision.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna get Killens back. Yeah, what offensive line? If they're seniors. One senior. There's one senior. So if you're losing one senior offensive line,
Before we wrap up, really quickly, score predictions for UConn this weekend. Come back to football real quick.
okay. I'm gonna go. God. 49 to 17.
That was literally mine, so cool.
No, I was gonna say 50 to 14.
All right, so we're on the same page. 49 17, 15-14. All right, take it away, host.
Thanks for watching KSN Podcast. We'll do another one in a long time.